If you're going to fulfill your purpose, you have to get good at ignoring things. Ignore negative comments. Ignore disrespect. Ignore the naysayers. They don't control your destiny. They are distractions to try to keep you from God's best. Instead of being upset over who's not for you, frustrated over who's trying to make you look bad, do like Saul, ignore it. Jealous people can't keep you from your destiny. Small-minded people cannot stop your purpose. When Nehemiah was rebuilding the walls around Jerusalem, there were two men at the bottom of the mountain, Sanballat and Tobias, that didn't like Nehemiah. They were constantly criticizing him, spreading rumors, trying to ruin his reputation. All day they would shout insults, making fun, trying to bait Nehemiah into coming down. Well, Nehemiah could have come off the mountain and defeated them. He could have shut them up, but he knew as long as he was fighting with them, he wouldn't be making progress on the wall. He knew they were not between him and his destiny. He didn't get upset. He didn't try to straighten them out. He simply ignored them. He went on to finish the wall in record time. When God puts a dream in your heart, there will always be Sanballats and Tobiases. People that are critical, jealous, disrespectful, people that try to get you riled up. Don't take the bait. That is not a battle you have to fight. They are a distraction to try to get you off course so you miss your purpose. Do like Nehemiah, learn to ignore the Sanballats and Tobiases. Your assignment is too important to be distracted by jealous, small-minded.
It's a hard job to preach anymore because preaching is based on faith, and faith has gone out of style because we don't believe. We don't believe in anything. They don't believe in parents. They don't believe in structure. They don't believe in respect. They don't believe in order. People have babies, leave them in a trash can. They don't believe in raising children. We used to believe in something. We're living in an era of skepticism. Truth is optional. It's your opinion. It's whatever you choose for it to be. Alternative truths, alternative realities. We used to believe in something. I'm not shocked that unbelievers don't believe. That's why they are unbelievers. But I'm shocked sometimes to recognize that the skepticism that was outside the boat has crept through the pores of the boat. Somehow it has filtered through the pitch and got inside the ark, and now you have to believe. The spirit of skepticism that has attacked our generation, has attacked our age, has led to unnecessary death, unnecessary murder, unnecessary pain, the lack of solidarity, the accentuation of instability and anxiety, because when you don't have a truth to anchor yourself to, you're just floating around in the sea of an abyss of ideas, each one contesting the other one. It has led to arguments and fightings and murders and killings and shootings and arguing over turf because there is no truth to anchor us. Truth anchors the soul. Truth holds us down. Truth opens up revelation. Truth opens up doors. It is about believing. It's about believing. Faith is the currency of heaven. It's what it is to heaven what money is to earth. It's what God uses to transact business. Because without faith, it is impossible to please God. No matter how talented you are, if you don't believe it, it is impossible to please God. Faith is the currency of heaven. It is the substance of the thing I hope for. It is the evidence of things I don't see. If I was Satan and I wanted to bankrupt you, it wouldn't be enough to take your money. If I take your faith, I've left you bankrupt. If I take faith, you can't have no peace. If I take faith, you can't have no joy. If I take faith, you can't have no victory. If I take faith, you don't have no power. If I take faith, you don't have no confidence. If I take faith, you don't have no boldness. If I have faith, you don't have no conviction. If I take your faith, you're powerless, impotent, weak, incapable. Your lack of faith is an insult to God. Do you hear what I'm saying to you?
There will be times in life that you don't understand what God is doing. Things don't make sense. Trouble, delays, closed doors, people that betrayed you, prayers that haven't been answered. It doesn't make sense now, but don't worry. One day you're going to understand. God is going to connect all the dots.
Trials to your faith don't come when all your bills are paid, when you got a nice job and you got a nice car and you got a nice home and everything. Trial to your faith comes when all hell's breaking loose. Everything you were leaning on is given away. You're uncertain and insecure and vulnerable. That's when the trial to your faith is done.
He doesn't allow things that he doesn't have a purpose for. That trouble is not a surprise to God. You can't see it right now, but behind the scenes, God is lining up things in your favor. When it's the right time, when it all comes together, it's going to work for your good. You'll look back and say, if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't have this position. If that door hadn't have closed, I would. Have met this person. If I hadn't have gone through that difficulty, I wouldn't have stepped in to this new level. Now don't waste your time trying to figure everything out. There are some things you're not supposed to understand right now. We can't see the plan of God. If you're always trying to figure it out, it's going to frustrate you. Instead of using that energy trying to understand what's happening, use it to thank God that He's working. Thank Him that you're surrounded with His favor. You don't have to work it out. You don't have to live frustrated over what's not happening, discouraged over disappointments. You keep honoring Him and He'll open the right doors. He'll bring the right people. He'll turn negative situations around. He'll make things happen that you couldn't make happen. His plan for your life is much bigger than your own. If you're going to stay in faith, you have to learn to trust when you don't understand.
Faith don't make it easy. Faith makes it possible. All you want is the strength to get through your life. On the days that I feel like I'm not going to make it, on the days that it feels like I can't endure anymore, I think back on my track record for surviving all my bad days. And so far, surviving all my bad days, my track record is 100%. I know a lot of very, very rich people that's miserable, not happy at all. I can bet you most of you are happier than most of the people I know. And I know some very, very wealthy people. But if that's your desire to get more of it, you got to ask God for it. If you want to be happy or successful, you got to ask God for it. Most people don't have the life of their dreams because you don't ask God for it. The scripture says you have not because you ask not. But listen to me, if you up your ask, he will up his gill. It's a scripture that's available for everybody. It's not just for rich people. You don't need an education to be successful. I flunked out of school. What God has for you, quit tying it in education. People kill me. I know people got 2 degrees finna go back to school and get another. If you got 2 of them that ain't working for you, why would you go get another one of them? That's crazy to me. You don't need that. I'm telling you, man, your whole success is tied in your relationship to God. You can simplify this by getting in touch with your Creator. That's your key, man. Quit tripping yourself out. Hey, y'all, don't forget to pray. Don't be ashamed to pray. And don't ever be too proud to pray, because prayer changes things. Thank y'all for coming, everybody.
It's not what happens that determines the major part of your future. It's not what happens. What happens to us all. The key is what you do about it. It's not what happens, it's what you do about it. You will start that process of change. Do something different the next 90 days than you did the last 90 days. Like picking up the books to read. Do something different, like the new health disciplines. Relationship with your family, whatever it is, doesn't matter how small it is. You'll start doing different things with the same circumstances. Since we cannot change the circumstances, we can change ourselves. We can change what we do. A few little simple principles here. Once you understand these, it starts to explain so much. Taking responsibility instead of putting it off on someone else. That transition sometimes is a challenging mission. You don't have to change what's outside. All you've got to change is what's inside. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills.
Most people underestimate what time can do when backed up with massive activity. Right as I'm speaking to you, I'm looking out at the ocean right now, and there's a massive rock formation, and you can see the rivets in the rocks. And what caused those rivets in the rocks was compound pounding of the ocean hitting that rock over and over and over again. And over time, that ocean breaks the rock down. Over time, where you can see the breakdown in a rock that water does hitting it. Think about that over time. Not one time when the water hits it, not 2 times, not 5 times. When you add up years and years and years of that water hitting the rock, it breaks it down. And that's like getting through to your dream. You have to be like that water hitting the rock I'm staring at right now, that over time, that compound pounding breaks down the barriers, breaks down the obstacles, breaks down anything in your way of getting to your dream. And here's the crazy thing about most people. They will give up on their dream before the compounding has been allowed to kick in. So they'll work at it, and they'll work at it, and they'll work at it, and they don't see the breakthrough. But what they don't understand is that rock was getting ready to break if you just keep pounding against it. But because most people don't see the evidence, see, if you watch that water hit that rock over one day, you're going to see no difference. Maybe even 5 years. But you have the compound pounding of every wave hitting that rock over and over again. There's an inevitability to the breakdown of the rock. That's true of your goals and dreams as well. There's an inevitability to success.